the basement. And here at the basement right here in Birmingham, Alabama, y'all wave at everybody. If we get the jib on everybody, let's wave at everybody and just say, hey, here at the basement, why don't you tell somebody? We just had somebody call from Germany. They got a lot of, it's a youth pastor. They got a bunch of groups over there watching us right now. Why don't you say, here at the basement, we're not perfect, we are just forgiven. We are just forgiven. Why don't we give a round of applause to the incredible troops, man, to stay up and watch. Y'all know that they gave the basement airtime in Afghanistan and Iraq, and each in some areas that our troops were serving in. They gave us up to 4 or 5 hours a day, so that we can just encourage them. Come on, I think you can do a little bit better than that. Girl, real quick, I just gotta hear that one time. If you got the cha-cha, or if it just falls like this. Y'all know that right there? I don't know about the cha-cha. Now, if you're watching right now, you're another city watching.
Turn it up.
Can you imagine? So the troopers are sitting there like,
take it back, man.
Look at it.
This time. Right foot, let's go. Left foot, let's go. Cha-cha, now, yeah.
Here we go. Cha-cha.
Last time to get funky.
Here we go.
To the right now.
To the right. Now, that's your left. That's your left. Oh, there.
Take it back, man.
Yeah, you don't know your right.
One hop this time.
Get it.
One hop this time.
Get it.
Right foot, 2 stumps. Left foot, 2 stumps. Slide to the left.
Slide it out.
Slide to the
Come on,
left.
slide it out.
Crisscross.
Look at everybody. Watch like a.
Chop real smooth.
Uh-oh, look at that. Oh, what's he passing over? Look at that dude. He's looking at that girl like this.
To the left. Take it back.
I'm trying to see how coordinated all y'all are. I feel like we all went to the same school growing up. Now, when I say reverse, let me see the reverse move. Reverse. Is that it?
Reverse.
Do it again.
Slide to the left. Slide to the right. Reverse.
Do it.
Reverse.
Do it.
Reverse.
I don't even know what that is. I look like a dog. I look at your neighbor and say, it ain't reverse. It's rewind. Say rewind it. Say rewind it. Watch y'all be seated. Let's chill for a minute. How many y'all glad just to come out here to celebrate tonight as a team and a family? How many y'all, I gotta get my more control. How many y'all love, I think the most powerful tool that was ever made in my generation was a remote control. Have you seen some of the buttons now? Like y'all remember, come on, it was basic. Like VCR, DVDs, it used to be stop, play, eject, reverse, fast. Like that was big stuff. And now these remotes, man, are confused, and I don't even like touch tone, digital. It's just crazy. For somebody a little slower like myself, you can only have stop, play, reverse, and fast forward. And eject don't even work. How many of y'all, eject just never works, doesn't it? You hit eject, it never works. I grew up at home. We were so poor that at the time we had the TV with a little knob. You know what I'm talking? A little knob. See what you can. Oh, okay. I'm excited right here. You messed up. Here's the deal. There was this little knob, and my dad had pliers. Man, I was so embarrassed. I never could bring nobody to my house. I mean, my dad get up. Oh no, he get up, he get them pliers up. And you got to go. And you can't pass it. How many of you cannot pass the channel because you got to go all the way. Oh man, you got to go all the way back around. I remember thinking like I just wish you could just reverse it, because I mean there was so many. Like I grew up and my mom, I told y'all she's a little different, and so she didn't cable television, not welcome in our home, and the Smurfs, they got power, and you can't have power. Only God's power works, and just Captain America. So I was like, oh man, everybody loves playing on Superman. They're like, their power, man. It's God's power alone. She told me one time that God, if you were supposed to fly, then God make you fly. I put on a towel one time, went out to the back porch, and I ran and jumped. And I was like, God, show me your power. Show me your power. I was a little fella. Every movie I watched, I thought I could be Spider-Man. I thought I could do ninjas, no matter what. And I remember running off, I jumped off. And how about God didn't let me fly? How about God let me eat dirt? And I remember just thinking, like, there was things like Bird. We get to travel a lot together as we go and speak. And one of his favorite shows would be sitting around. He loves watching America's Funniest Videos. Like, he just loves that. Yeah, give me a clap. Give me a clap. Give me a clap. I wish people would get back to like just some of the good, clean, funny stuff. Like guys just running into doors and knocking themselves completely out. This one dude the other day jumped from one side of the pool, and when he was trying to land, one leg was on top of the pavement, and the other leg was in the water, so the middle region kind of got a little punctured. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, y'all pray for him. I'm saying I'm serious. I love it too when they go out with flies. I'm in pest control. Me and my dad in pest control my life. So they go out and they think they can just heal all these bees with a little fan. You know, bees and yellow jackets got poison. You can just go with a wasp and just hit that thing. Man, that makes them mad. And little partners come out. See, some of y'all never been jumped by some yellow jackets before. I was cutting grass one time, I ain't kidding you, man. My dad said, watch out for holes, man, near the house, you know, but, you know, I don't hear him because I know what I'm doing. I had a grass company business when I was 10 years old, and by 12, I had somebody work for me. And so I remember there was this hole, and I hit that thing, and so, and I was like, man, you know, the next thing you know, these yellow jackets come out like a click, man. They came out slow, and they was like looking at me. One of them was smoking a cigarette. Y'all think I'm exaggerating? He looked at me, he's like, I know you just did. No, I'm just kidding. That part didn't happen. But they came out, man. It was on. I remember, like, I'm so embarrassed that I got to tell the same place. But I remember they got on me, and like a girl, I wasn't crying, but I was like, you know, I had a little tear in my eye, you know. I was crying, man. I was hyperventilating. These things were stinging me. I took off my clothes in trustful, and then I was like, I'm going to put back on my clothes. And I remember laying there, and my head got swollen. I called up my dad. You know, I'm a hypochondriac, so like if you get stuff, I'm like, I'm dying. You know, I'm just trying to let them know. Y'all feel sorry for me. Come find me. I might die. And I say all that to say, like, there comes some moments in I think people's lives that I almost look at life like it's such a beautiful thing. When people live it to the fullest, because like it's like the movie can just play. Oh, yeah. Like football season's coming up, as it is, you're gonna hear a lot of men if you're in a room. They're gonna go, rewind that, man, rewind that. He didn't step out of bounds. He didn't step out of bounds. Rewind it, man. Rewind. Look. He just all stop. Look, and then rewind it, man. And how many of y'all praise God? Can I say this? Praise God for TiVo. I didn't say Kim TiVo. I said TiVo. Like pause it, record it, fast forward, you know what I'm saying? And so there's just some moments, like when I watch games with Bird, they're like, rewind it, man, you know, they want to see all this stuff. And I remember, like, when I was growing up, there's this girl in my class. I was in a different class. My mom calls it a special class, but you know, I think it was a little different. You know, I do, because there was, like, the girl beside me, she had a bladder problem. And it wasn't no normal bladder problem, man. Like, she had a TT all the time. I'm serious. Like, it was like, I mean, it was ridiculous all the time. She had to get an excuse from a doctor to go all the time. And once I learned about that, guess what I did? I went and got me an excuse too. So I could get up and go outside and talk and all that. I was like, I got a bladder problem. But one day I was sitting in class. Mom might want to share this, but you know, I mean, this could pause on somebody's second grade. This is serious. I was sitting there, she said, teacher, and she was a teacher, and the teacher turned around and said, Keisha, you hold on now. She said, don't you ask me no question. She said, teacher started crying, teacher. She was getting around, she said, Keisha, you better put your hand down. Like, she was getting upset with Keisha. And I was looking at Keisha like, girl, get up and do something, you know? And even when I was in second grade, I wanted to see a scrap. And so, and Keisha was sitting there looking to her, and then Keisha just started crying. She said, teacher. And the teacher just turned around, and she said, Keisha, what? What do you want? He said, what? And I made a move on a TT in my pants. And Keisha wore silk that day. Now, every lady in here knows, man, water just don't fly down. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know what I did? Like, being AD, I didn't know what to do. I'm a germaphobe. Everybody, you know, Germex. I had to get right here all the time. And when I saw, like, y'all don't believe me, but my mom, like, there was a puddle all over in my area. Sitting on the ground. And I saw it. I didn't want to embarrass Keisha, but I was like, Keisha, what are you doing? And so I hopped up on my desk and I was like, ah! shot, you know, give the dog a bone. You know what I'm saying? Like, you like girls and got, you know, but you cooties and but this wasn't cooties. This was disgusting. And I'm trying to be a man. The man's I just all over my area, and I get sick in my stomach. Ooh, you know, anybody knows I can just throw up on the spot. Somebody say, "Man, my food just tastes like bad breath." I'm like, I've thrown up. I've had a bad situation. Bird, we travel. He's like, "Ooh, this sandwich." And I'm like, man, hey, chill out, bro. You know my stomach. I just thought when Keisha left that day, she was crying, and I probably should have ran out and like, Keisha, it's cool, girl. Like, I got your back in there, you know what I'm saying? But I think Keisha wished she could rewind that moment. Like, how many of y'all ever had a moment? It's not about doing something dumb. It's just like, whether it's an accident or something happened, but like, I call it the rewind, like, generation. Like, I feel like most of my life, most of the people I talk to, they have these kind of moments. Now, unfortunately, it's not like a second grade rewind situation. Some of you grow up like I do, and as you get older, the rewind becomes a little bit like my mom always said, God can remove your past, Matt. But I didn't understand what she was saying. But like I love movies so much, like she'd point out the rewind, but like he could just rewind it, and he'd give you a brand new movie. And I'd be like, you mean I can pray and God just rewind the whole movie? And she'd be like, well, I mean, you can do that, but once he rewinds it, he wants you to start over and do it right. And so she would use these kind of things. So I was like, okay, that's cool, you know, I'll just keep hitting the rewind. I go to bed before I pray, I just hit the rewind button. I still didn't get the metaphor, you know, it was like a spiritual term. I thought she could hit the rewind button and get God cool. And so, I remember my mom growing up though, another button she used to say all the time and pull on me was just stop. And she was always trying to help me, man. My mom, y'all know this, I speak about her. Probably, I'll be speaking to her when I die one day. I'll be in my casket. I'll be like, I love my mom. And y'all go, oh, that was crazy. But like, she's my hero. She always like, stop, man. Where you going? I've been on with my friends, you know. And she was always trying to check my friends, you know. And she was always, she cared so much that I missed how much she cared. Like I thought she wanted me to go to church because we had to. I didn't know that she wanted me to go to church because she wanted to. So I lived this lifestyle. I call it like it was like a schizophrenic lifestyle as a Christianity. I thought on the weekends I'll go to church with my mom. On Friday I'll party. Like I did whatever I had to do. It was so fake. Like it was just disgusting. I wish I could rewind that. To be honest with you. I remember one time I was 11 years old. I never really fit in. So the kids that I fit in with were delinquents, man. They were always want to do crazy junk. And so I got this call one time. I remember my mom always said she could feel it. She was like, you don't need to be hanging out. I was like, Mom, these kids go to the church we're at now. And she was like, they're in the youth group? And I was like, yes, ma'am. And these 20-year-olds will pull up, you know, and I'm like 11 years old. But I got out to Mountain Brook, and one of my buddies was there, and he was 12. And so his mom had a 4Runner, and they like to drive when they were 12 years old. And I was like, well, I'm down, you know, let's roll. You know, it might be like a go-kart. Let's get it in. And so we were riding into the back. He had some eggs, and there were people in there. And my friend, like these guys growing up, always want to like throw eggs and kind of like just cry. Man, I always had this thing called conviction in my heart. I didn't like to do stuff like that. I felt bad for people, but if you dared me to be like, you know, if it's going to get me class clown, then I'll do it. And so we were riding.